Talk about a player. Here you go. Brent Summers. Brent Summers full splice. This is a standard 58-inch cue, even split, 29 butt, 29 shafts. Made by Brent Summers and then built out by Mr. Bill Lister. Brent Summers is a dandy of a guy. You know, he's near and dear to our heart because he is from the great state of Indiana, where we reside and where our business is here at Crossroad Cues. So for those of you that don't know, Brent, who has the ability of making great cues on his own, and he does make some cues here and there. I actually ran into him at the Derby City Classic, and he had some completed cues. Brent rarely makes or sells fully finished cues. So what I mean by that, he is famous all over the cue industry for making the full splice blanks. And that's how this cue started out. So Brent, his work is very identifiable by the long straight points you can see going up and going down. He uses some really good wood, as you can clearly see. This handle is made from some really nice Cocobolo. I would say that's what we call Mexican Cocobolo when it's got that reddish tint to it. The South American stuff has more of a brownish color to it. So that's that kind of reddish, a little bit of orange tones. And then the forearm is Birdseye maple. Now, I'm not sure if that's Kielwood Birdseye, because I've seen some guys do that lately, or if it's just stained. That part I don't know if it's torrefied or if it's just stained. I would say probably just stained, but nevertheless it looks great. So anyway, Brent makes the full splice blanks that end up resulting in completed cues such as this one. And a lot of the top cue makers in the industry will buy the blanks from Brent. They buy them from Ronsville, they buy them from Brent Summers, and they both got their own style. A lot of guys buy the Prather blanks, and then they build them out and they turn them into these awesome playing full splice cues. So if you don't have a full splice in your collection, I would strongly encourage you to grab this cue, and it will not last. You'll notice when you follow my page, anytime we put up a nice full splice, man, they sell like in the blink of an eye because they play so good. And the reason behind that, at least what I've heard, the full splice, because there's no separation, it has the feel of the original house cue. So if you think about it, they started making cues in two-piece so that people could carry their personal cues, hence the joints. And there's obviously a variation of different joints. That's a whole different subject. We won't unpack that right now. But basically, the full splice is going to have a really solid and commanding hit to it. And I have played with this cue, by the way, because it's not brand new. It is chalked, and it hits really good. And this cue has been built out by Bill Lister, and he did a really good job. His finish looks great. I like what he did at the joint. They told me that this is a natural joint. I can see that it looks to be natural. Can't tell for sure, but I would say natural material at the joint and the ring. Absolutely no shipping overseas and no shipping to any states that have bans on natural material. We do uphold all of the laws and guidelines. And as far as like shipping to California, to New York, New Jersey, Washington, or any of the other states that have that restriction, my apologies, we cannot sell to you or ship to that state. Everybody else, you're welcome to purchase this cue. It does have a 3/8-10 modified, what we like to call the big pin. There is just really minor signs of wear on this. So you got like one tiny mark right there at the shaft connection, one tiny one right there, okay, full disclosure. And then there's a couple marks right there from play. No big deal. And then there's a tiny, and I do mean tiny, ding. It's kind of hard to even see. It's somewhere down here. I mean, like right there, it's just really minor. Other than that, everything is good to go. The butt and the shafts roll perfectly straight. This is a 15-ounce butt. This is what they call the Bumperless I guess you could say a bumperless hoppe style, because you've got the hoppe ring that again is natural material, but nevertheless it is a bumperless cue. The shafts that are on this, you've got a Kielwood shaft. It looks to have natural ferrules on that, and then you have a maple shaft. So the butt weight again 15 ounces. The Kielwood shaft weighs 3.8, and it's a 13 millimeter shaft, and then the maple shaft is 3.9 ounces. 12.95 millimeters. So there you go. Brent Summers, built out by Bill Lister. Give Brent Summers a shout and tell him that we love his work over at Crossroad Cues. I had the pleasure of spending some time with him at the Derby City Classic. Brent's a great guy, and man, he puts out some super cool stuff. The other thing is he uses some awesome colors in his full splices. If you notice, this has got kind of almost that raw safari look to it, right? It's got the yellow, and then it's got green, orange, and black, and it looks like he separated each of those with black paper, which really gives it that extra special touch. So there you go. Full splice available right now at crossroadcues.com. If you need some financing, we've got financing with a firm. We've got a layaway plan. Our reputation is impeccable, and we ship lightning fast. Crossroad Cues.